I have actually made a calendar of the period we're discussing for the program, which consisted of CM Punk feuding with Seth Rollins, as has been going on for quite a while. But what is special about it this time is that their wives got involved. So it was a husband and wife versus husband and wife matchup. CM Punk and his wife AJ, who made her return, and then they faced off against Seth and Becky. This became a mixed tag match at the WrestlePalooza event, but this really started at Clash in Paris. Well, it didn't start at Clash in Paris. I mean, CM Punk and Seth Rollins have been feuding forever, right? But this was where they had that four-way, right? It was CM Punk against Rollins, and also Jey Uso and LA Knight were involved.
Correct.
But we'll talk about them a little later. But Becky Lynch basically showed up, low-blowed CM Punk, hit him in the balls, and cost CM Punk, right? So that was the introduction of Becky Lynch as CM Punk's, not sidekick. They're kind of like equal in terms of Becky in the women's division and Seth in the men's division. They're both like power players. She's not a sidekick.
True.
She's brought on to be like a co-star, I think. So let me run through this feud real quick, or this program for the month of September. We'll get comments from you guys as we go. I actually thought that was really cool, by the way Becky showed up and low-blowed him. I thought that that was a great introduction to Becky and Seth together. I mean, everyone knows they're together in real life, but this is the first time. So then on Raw, the following Monday, this is September 1st, Seth showed up, but he wouldn't get in the ring, and he sent his wife out there, and she started slapping the shit out of him. She's like, just peppered him. This was insane to me. The way she was slapping him just like disrespectfully, and he just walked away, right? He couldn't do anything about it. It's like, I can't hit a girl. And he went to the back and he talked to Adam Pearce, and he's like, I'm going to SmackDown this Friday in Chicago, his hometown. So this is the only time this feud actually travels to SmackDown. This is a Raw feud. But the coming Friday, September 5th, this was the return of AJ Lee. So yeah, he couldn't hit Becky himself, but he had a wife who is a former wrestler, former champion. And here is Seth and Becky running away, CM Punk and AJ hugging each other. Yeah, so she just immediately went in there and started pounding away on Becky. And this was the return. This was lauded. This was a good moment, right? AJ coming back for the first time.
Yeah.
I'm just thinking for Becky, I don't understand how she could have not known this was going to happen. Like, you're slapping this guy. You're like, what are you going to do about it? You can't do nothing about it. You can't hit a girl. Like, obviously this guy is married to someone who used to be a wrestler. Like, this was the most obvious fucking thing ever. And the way Seth's face and Becky's face, like, they were all shocked and surprised. Like, what the hell? How could she be here? I just thought Becky and Seth were caught a little dim-witted there. But anyways, I'm going to move on with the program. Move on to Monday, the following Monday. So September 8th. So what happened here? Let's see. I just have a few pictures, basically. This is the first time I'm doing it this way because I'm running through a whole program and not like every day in detail. But this was the day AJ came back to cut a promo. Mm-hmm. And Seth Rollins tried to sneak attack Punk, and it was unsuccessful. But yeah, this was AJ's return in terms of speaking, so she got a chance to grab the mic and cut a promo on Raw. She also stole Becky's Intercontinental title when she showed up, right, on the first day, because Becky lost. AJ picked it up, so she had the Intercontinental title walking into this Raw, but she gave it back to her, at the end of this segment. So as of September 8th, she got the belt back. But anyways, moving on, I guess the following Monday, as we run through this real quickly, and we'll get some comments from y'all on what happened on the next one. So this was the day, actually, Becky got over on AJ. So AJ got laid out. This was like what was it? Like an in-ring summit or something? A face-to-face, as they do in wrestling these days. They were talking, and somehow a squabble started, and Becky got a shot in on AJ. So she left AJ laying. And they also introduced Becky and Seth making out. Which I think is funny. So they're headed for a match at WrestlePalooza, right? That was the go home for WrestlePalooza. So that was the last thing that we saw. So then Saturday, which was a couple days ago now, as we speak, Not a couple days ago, but a few days ago. We've also had a Monday Night Raw since then. But the match itself, it was a very interesting matchup. In the end, CM Punk and AJ came out victorious, right? There's Becky distraught after the match. I thought it was a very entertaining match. No, I think probably the coolest thing I saw in WrestlePalooza. That was a nice match to watch. The husband and wife against husband and wife, that was a really cool idea. Last thing though, this past Monday, there was one segment with Becky and Seth Rollins. I guess they're still hanging out. They are still kind of gonna.
Yeah, they didn't get divorced.
Yeah, but they never hung out on the show, so they're gonna make.
That's true.
They're gonna actually start doing that now during Raw. Is she like a member of the Vision? I don't know. So the only thing that happened on this segment, that would be cool. That would be cool. I'd like to see her in segments like that. But I don't know if I misread it, but he kind of seemed like he was annoyed at her here because he was so pissed off and angry.
But I kind of got the same impression.
Yeah, because he didn't say a word.
So I'm like, is this going to lead to some kind of rift between them?
I think it's too soon to tell, but
yeah, I'm not really sure where that's going from there. But all right, otherwise than that, let's zoom out, and this is the whole picture of basically what just happened between these two couples, and they had a feud, and that was the program. I don't know if it's over. Okay, so sometime I would like to do like program reviews, Robert, of like when programs are over instead of like doing it segment by segment. But you never know when it's over. Like sometimes a program seems over and someone just got beat clean, and then they just like continue and try to get another match. You know what I mean? So I don't know. I guess it just never seems to be over between Punk and Rollins.
Right.
Yeah.
I don't think that's over.
Yeah, that's not over.
That's not over. Yeah.
All right, so let's get some thoughts from y'all about this one. I guess I'll start with Vlad, the wrestling expert. What do you think of this whole thing?
I thought there were some elements that were really, really good, specifically in the beginning when Becky and Punk promo that, like, I guess that was on that Raw where she was slapping him around and just like, what are you going to do? You can't do anything.
That was amazing. That was
tremendous.
That's probably the most enthralled I was watching all of these shows that I've been catching up on for this month. That was the most, like, when that was happening, she was just peppering him left and right, like, here, take this.
Yeah. And what was great about that was the Becky, like, honestly, I thought had been rather dull for a while now.
Yes, that's a good point.
I think it rejuvenated her career a little bit, this whole feud.
Yes, totally.
Because I think she's been dull. She's had terrible matches. The thing with
she had to have all these segments with Lyra Valkyria.
And then she had that terrible match with what was it? The Bella, one of the Bella twins. What the heck? Brie?
Nikki Bella.
That match was dreadful. That match was a disaster. Okay, so this rejuvenated her career. Honestly, that whole thing, and you could tell that all parties were into it. Like, this was something that everybody felt was good. And it was good. There were some elements that I didn't particularly like the long promos that just kind of lasted forever. Like, I think there were some times where they just talked, and it was a little much. They could have made those things a little shorter. But overall, especially, I would say AJ Lee's also, her promo, when she came back, like that one was it on Raw? I think it was also, on Raw. No, yeah.
It was on Raw.
It was on Raw, yeah. Where she's like talked about like coming back and what, like, that she had some mental health stuff and that she had some bad neck and whatnot, but she's back and she wants to, like, she wasn't thinking about coming back, but she came back because of what Becky did. It all made sense and it was all really good. Again, I didn't see the match, so the final conclusion to this thing I did not see. I heard what happened and I got the gist, but I didn't see it as like a whole. But I could imagine it being the best match of the night on WrestlePalooza. Not saying that's a big thing considering what people are saying about WrestlePalooza, but just the fact that it was a really quality match with quality people involved. AJ looked great. That's another thing that needs to be said. For someone that hasn't wrestled or been in wrestling really in 10 years, for the most part, she looks pretty much identical to what she looked like in 2015. So that's great on her for staying in great shape.
Yeah, heck yeah. Impressive.
Very impressive.
Looks exactly the same. You're right.
Looks virtually the same. I mean, exactly. So
Yeah, so she's kept herself in shape and been working out just in case. I guess this was going to happen, possibly.
or I don't know, just for that reason she stayed in shape. Maybe she just did it for her own health, but still, nonetheless, good on her for looking really good. And overall, I enjoyed it. The overall feud, I thought it was like probably the best thing going, honestly, for WWE. And yeah, I mean, I guess
What's
it
going to
has
happen with AJ and CM Punk? Is she going to keep hanging out there, or is she going to join the roster? Or?
That's a great question. I kind of think of it more of like when what was her name? Beth Phoenix, like when Edge brought his wife Beth Phoenix, and so it's like it'll be like a spot, like some kind of. They'll have some appearances, but it won't be like a regular thing. I don't think AJ wants to wrestle on a regular basis. I could be wrong. Maybe she'll be here for the next year or two, but I just see it like as like a part-time thing for her right now. That's where I would bet my money on, kind of like a Beth Phoenix type deal. So yeah.
All right, but you in the pantheon of wrestling, though, you thought this was entertaining.
There were elements to it. There were parts of it that were really good stuff. Like Becky did incredible heel work here. And you could argue the Becky carried the feud. You know, she was tremendous. This is the best use of Becky I've seen in a long time. This was really good for Becky. Everybody else did their part well too, but yeah, I think it really rejuvenated Becky.
All right, let me jump to Robert, the Frozen Asian. Let's get your thoughts on this feud.
All right, yes. So I'll start with the beginning, the promo between CM Punk and Becky Lynch. Just like what Vlad was saying, I thought Becky Lynch was doing excellent heel work. She was incredible, and she knew how to. She was so good at handling a hostile crowd. I was like, Charlotte, take notes. When the crowd turns on you, this is how you react. She was so good. I was like, man, she's starting to look like, at least in that segment, started to actually look like the GOAT that she's self-proclaims to be, and also supposedly ESPN claims her to be, and Bleacher Report, and who else is saying it? Who else is saying it? I'm not sure, but
Sports Illustrated.
Yeah, Sports Illustrated says it. Okay.
Yeah.
So yeah, she was awesome for sure. So that part in the beginning, I loved it. My only issue was that I feel like the AJ Lee appearance felt a little too telegraphed. I wish they found a way to make it more of a surprise.
Yeah, because everybody knew at that point.
Yeah, it was way too telegraphed. Okay,
well, it was obvious because it was obvious storyline wise. Like shit, the guy's obviously got a wife, you know. So how?
Right,
I mean,
right.
I kind of didn't. I wasn't bothered by that, but okay.
I mean, look, the fact that it was AJ Lee coming back, there's not gonna be a complaint from me. I love AJ Lee. Yeah. So because it was her, I was fine with it, right? And I was glad to see her again. But just in general, the fact that it was so easy to see coming, I wish it wasn't. But anyways, then AJ Lee's return, she looked amazing. It's funny, her promo when she was talking about therapy, I just found it hilarious that she's talking about, you know, mental health while pretty much concurrently there's another storyline involving Bailey, about having a bipolar disorder or whatever.
Yeah.
So I was like, okay, hey, maybe that's gonna lead to an angle somewhere down the line. I don't know. It might, right?
Yeah, maybe AJ will be her therapist.
Yeah, I know, right? AJ Lee, the therapist. And then yeah, the feud was fun. It was very entertaining. But I thought it was at its best at the beginning, especially the performance by Becky.
What did you think of the match? Because I didn't really see it, so I'm curious your thoughts on it.
It was fun. As far as like moving along the angle, it was good. It
was classic. It was classic mixed tag team wrestling. There was a lot of just classic. All these people are very intelligent. It was good wrestling.
I like from WrestlePalooza. WrestlePalooza wasn't that great to me, but out of that event, I probably like the Stephanie Vaquer Io Sky match
Mhm.
the most.
Mhm.
But
That was good.
this tag team mixed tag team match was fun to watch.